What's up everybody, it's your boy T-Bangs and I'm going to be showing you all the steps I take to make my thumbnails look the way they do. I'm not going to lie, it requires a lot of different softwares and a lot of different setups, but I make sure that all my thumbnails come out the best way possible. And I'm going to show you how. If you are new to this channel and you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to leave it a like, comment, and subscribe. We are so close to 3,000 subs. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So before I even do anything related to actually putting something on something, I want to come up with an idea and a concept before I ever, put anything down or put anything on a piece of paper. For example, I just got done recording a video about a game called Clap Clap, basically where you're house sitting and you have this demon monster that's running through the dark, and basically you have to clap clap to keep the lights on. So after playing that game, I want to go through different things in my head to try to think what would be the best thumbnail. And the best way to do that is to come up with a title for the video first. First, I'll just start thinking of some stuff like "Don't turn off the lights." That's a pretty decent title. Or "This demon only catches you at night." Whatever. "If I clap, I die." Just stuff like that until I brainstorm and come up with a good name. Then I could base the thumbnail around the name. Okay guys, so after a little bit of research and a good bit of brainstorming, I've come up with the title of "I Summoned the Demon by Clapping." I think that's the title I'm gonna go for. So now that I have my title, I need my thumbnail to represent my title. So now I can start coming up with little drawings and concepts to represent that idea. And to draw out some of those sample sketches, I'm gonna be using Autodesk Sketchbook. This is a drawing software I've been using since I started making digital art. I've been using this ever since I found it for free on my Android when I was younger. And then when I got a new iPhone, it followed with me. And then when I got my computer, it followed with me. I am never going to abandon this software. I don't care if there's better software out. And it's completely free. Just look it up, go to their website and download. Now that we're here, we can start with a basic drawing. Let's just do this to show the YouTube box outline. And let's come up with some ideas, some sketches. So the first thing I think of is, I know there's a picture online of the demon being behind the door clapping. So I could do that with him right there. And then I could put myself right here, super scared and looking back. I could do that. Another concept I can come up with is I can put myself in the front and then I could make myself clap. So I could be doing this right here. So I could be hand right here and then hand right here. And then it could be a clap song. It could be clap effects right there. And then I can just put a giant demon in the background. So I can just do the eyes right here. The giant demon. Hands, you can get his hands right here, do something like that. You can put clap to represent the name of the game. Oops, that says Claire. I'm tripping. You can do something like that. Third concept I want to try is I could be clapping. I'm going to show myself clapping while running away from the creature. So I could do that. It's going to be hard to represent running with only the upper body when my hands are in a clapping motion. I'll make it work, but he should be running from a demon that is down the hallway with a cracked door. Let's make a cracked door right there. And then the demon should be right here, peeking out the door. I guess you can give him a little arm right here coming out the door. Make sure this is represented as a hallway. Yeah, we can come up with this idea as well. But those are just the ideas I have off the top of my head. There are many more ways to get ideas and research. And one way is by actually just looking up the game itself and just seeing what other people are putting. So you got Dashie right here who did this. You got this guy who just put the straight up. But I like to keep a cartoon version of me in every one of my thumbnails. So I like to use the ones that have actual people in them as inspirations. Like this was not bad. That's similar to the first concept I was doing. And this is the photo I was talking about. So I could probably put this on the side right here. And then I can put myself right there. And another thing I like to do is that I will go to ChatGPT and I will be like, I need a thumbnail generated for my YouTube channel. And here's the premise. And I'll type in the premise for the video. So I'm gonna put in, I need a thumbnail generated for my YouTube channel. The premise is, and I'm gonna paste my idea, which is I summoned a demon by clapping. And then what ChatGPT will do is give me a different angle, just like a different perspective. because sometimes your perspective can be skewed, and maybe what you think is a good thumbnail is just genuinely not good, because it's like you're just one person. You want to get opinions for different things, and I tend to try to use ChatGPT as a second or third opinion. So this is what ChatGPT came up with. I don't know if I like this. I don't think this is a really good representation for something to demon like clapping. So I think I'm just gonna leave ChatGPT out of this. Okay, so out of these three, I think the one I know I'm not probably gonna use is this one, because I know I have a similar thumbnail on the channel. I don't want people to get them confused, so I'm not gonna use style number 2. So it's really between besides styles 1 and style 3. Style 1 would be my pick because it would be the easiest one to make, plus it is in line with all the other ones that we saw on YouTube so far. But also 3 is not bad for a backup option if number 1 isn't doing well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the thumbnail based on style 1, and then if style 1 isn't doing good stats wise, I will try to make thumbnail number 3 and replace it if it needs to. Okay, so now that we got our concept down, let's go ahead and get to start drawing. This is how I draw all of my things. You've seen somebody do digital art before. What I'm about to show you isn't new, relatively speaking. It is kind of new for me because after a while, I used to not draw like this, because you know most people will do the circle and then they'll do this and then they'll do this and that. I used to not do that. I used to just free-handed whatever, start wherever I wanted. I always got what I wanted. But the more and more I get better as an artist, the more I realize that this stuff is important. The fundamentals are very important, because if I didn't do these, none of my drawings would look consistent. I need him looking left. I need myself looking left, looking back at the demon. So I'm going to make chin go that way. I'm gonna make his head turn that way. And then I don't know if I want to go up or if I want to go down. I'm gonna go down because I honestly, when I make thumbnails, I usually don't go down. I usually go up. So I'm gonna go down for the sake of being different. So yeah, we're gonna do the head. We're gonna define it just a little bit more, make his head shape a little bit more consistent with all the other channel thumbnails. Darken it out so I can see it a little bit better. Here we're gonna put the ear right here. And part of me drawing is making sure that all of my art is consistent with each other. So all of my ears are gonna look like this. I'm always gonna put the earring right here, and I'm gonna draw myself a hairline that I can go based off after. Now we're gonna zoom in and we're gonna try to get the eyes. Usually my eyes are 2 segments. It's the top segment and it's the bottom segment. So it's something like that. But we need him to actually look terrified. We want him to look scared, but not too realistic to where it takes the exaggeration out of it, just enough to where, you know, you get the point across. So we got the eyes right here. And then we're gonna get the eyebrows. I have big, thick eyebrows, so this right here has to represent that as well. You gotta add the nose. Then you gotta exaggerate the mouth so you can see the genuine fear there. Okay, this looks good so far. This looks good so far. Next, we want to try to get the eyes in there. So we get the eye right there. Eye right there. And the eyes are subject to change because you never know when the subject is gonna be on the actual thumbnail when I throw it in. So I can always just replace the eyes and make them actually look at where they're supposed to. But for now, we're gonna assume that's what the thing is. All right, we're gonna put lines where we need to. If we need to put one right here, we put one right there. I can put stress lines right there. I could put stress lines right here. This is just a concept. So some of this may or may not make it into the final cut. Now I need to work on my hair. I usually start from this point and just flow my hair out like this. So I'll do boom, boom, and boom. Doesn't need to be too much. I have black hair, so I'll just fill it in black, so there's no need to shape that. Then you got this, and this. That's good right there. And then I need my 2 that usually stick out right here. I need to represent those as well. So I need to put this right here. Then I need to put you right here, and then right here. Boom. That's good right there. So now we need him to look like he's moving away from what's over there. So this is not my forte. I'm only good with headshots for the most part, but I managed to pull it off. So we're gonna, okay, yeah, I like this right here. Okay, that makes this next scene stretched out like he's actually moving away with force or whatever is over there. So yeah, and then we gotta draw his hoodie, because I don't know if y'all noticed, but my dress code for my channel is literally hoodies. Like in every video you see me in, I'm going to be wearing a hoodie because I went out of my way to make sure it's my dress code. I made sure I'm consistent in that aspect. So draw his hoodie right there, exaggerate a little bit. It doesn't have to look super realistic, it just has to look good. And you want to make it seem like he's running away. Look at his shoulder, and then get his arm, get his shoulder, and get his arm. Hoodie flaps. Fix that right here. Get the chest of the hoodie. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, how about this? Okay, I like that, but this arm looks out of place. We need to fix this arm. Then I'm going to move it over and see if that fixes it. Okay, I like that a little bit more. Okay. So this right here should be good, because let's be honest, I'm not gonna probably use any of this down here. Any of this, that's probably not gonna be used. I'm gonna be honest, if the drawing is probably gonna be utilized, it's probably gonna be utilized like this. So most of that is probably not gonna be used, but I like to keep it anyway, just in case. So now that we have our base sketch, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the opacity. We're gonna drop the opacity of it, make a new layer, and we're gonna go on it with our serious line. So I like to use this pen right here. It's called an inking pen, because it, you know, you do light, it goes light. When it goes heavy, it goes heavy, and it gives you those sharp edges I want. Those sharp edges, just gives me those. So that's what we're gonna be using. Basically, this is gonna be boring because basically all I'm doing is literally outlining everything. I like to start with the eyes. Wrong layer. So I like to start with the eyes, right? I'll use predictive stroke if I have to help me out, help me keep my line straight. Right there. Then I'll get heavier and heavier to represent the depth of the back corner of the eye. And this is black, so I don't mind if it goes over the hair because they're both black anyway. So when it's done, you're not gonna notice. You'll see what I mean in a second. Yeah, I will see y'all when I'm done outlining this, because I'm pretty sure y'all want to see this. And start the montage. I got the base outline done. I'm going to hide the layer under it. Okay, yeah, so I got most of it done. Usually what I like to do is I like to make a layer on top to see what stretch lines and stuff I want to add. So if I want to add these type of stretch lines, or if I want to add these type of stretch lines, or even these type of stretch lines. So if they look good, I can just leave them there, but if I don't like them, I can just take them off. It's that simple. And now we're gonna get to the coloring part. And this is what I do first. I duplicate the layer twice. The original layer gets hidden, so it doesn't get touched. And then I work on the next layer under that one. And then the top layer is just a line layer. It basically just keeps the line straight when I start coloring. You'll see what I mean. So yeah, I start with all the hair being black, the eyebrows being black, and the eyes being black. If I want to change them later, I will, but this is basically what I start with. And then for my skin tone, I go over here for my browns, and I pick this one right here. This is sepia. This is the one I like to use for my skin tone. And after that, I would like to change the background to like a neon greenish type of color, so I can see all the parts that need to be white, because it's easy to miss the things that are supposed to be white. And then for the eyes, I just color over what's already there. So I'll just round it out to where it fits in. And I'll do that for the other eye as well. Then I'll fill them in. I'll drop the tolerance down, because the tolerance being too high would like color the entire thing. I'll drop the tolerance, and then those lines that get left in that gap, I usually just color them in manually. And then for the clothes, it really depends on the setting, because I'm not gonna lie, the photo we're gonna take is probably gonna be something on lines of this. Is like a beige background, so I know I don't want to use black. I want to use a contrasting color. So I want to use red. I'm not sure if I want to use red. So yeah, that's the color I want. And now we're gonna get onto the shading. So all of my shading is pretty consistent. I'll use the eyedropper tool, drag in the color I want. For my skin tone, I usually go down here to HSL, and I just drag the L, which is basically the lightness and darkness of it. I usually just go 35. 35 is like the safest. So what I'll do is, maybe I want the light coming from this side of the face, so I won't put any shading over there. I would put it on the opposite end. So I'll conform it to his face like this, and I think that right there is good, and then I'll just fill it, and then I'll drop the temperance down. The tolerance is already down. So I'm gonna put that right there. So now I think I got the finishing touches on my cartoon, so I'm going to get rid of the background and then save it as a PNG file. But first, before I save it as a PNG file, I want to save it as a file, basically the TIFF file. The TIFF file is basically the one with the layers, the one that you can open in here. So I'm going to name it clap cartoon. Okay, so now we're in Photoshop. I'm gonna go ahead and make myself a new file, 1080p. And I'm gonna back it out because I know I'm about to drag this freaking Photoshop. And then we're gonna zoom it out because I know I'm about to add my drawing onto it. I know my drawing is gonna be zoomed in like crazy, so I need this extra space over here. Now we got the folder where I put it. We're gonna go to the C's, clap. Where's the clap? Here it is right here. We're gonna drag it on and we're gonna put it on, and then we're gonna put it in the corner where I needed it to go. So we're going to stretch it out right there. Right there should be good. So now we're gonna go on Google and find us basically some good clap, renders for that demon we saw. Okay, so this is the best I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna copy the image, and most than likely they're not gonna see the clap because it's gonna be behind my head. So hopefully I'm hoping that works out. So we're gonna paste the image onto the file. We're gonna size it to where we need it to go. Right there should be good, and then we're gonna make that the bottom layer so I'm on top of it. So okay, so that clap you can still kind of see it. That's not good. Okay, so we're not gonna worry about that right now. We're just gonna make sure that our subject is in view, so that right there should be good. And then when it comes to this, I think I'm just gonna brush over it. So I'm gonna make a layer between the cartoon and the back, and then we're gonna get the brush tool and we're gonna make the color match this. So we're gonna eyedrop it, and then we're gonna make this big right here. No hardness though, so it fades into it. Then we're just gonna do that right there. Okay, that right there, that's right there, that's good. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering, my bad. Okay, now let's add the pizzazz to this. So first we're gonna start with my cartoon. We're gonna click on it, we're gonna filters, and we're gonna go to camera raw filters. Then we're gonna play with it until it's like bright, vibrant, easy to see, etc. So first I want to start with the light. Let's give it some more exposure, give some contrast, take away the highlights so you can see the the depth a little bit more. Shadows, about right there is good. Whites there, blacks right there. Okay, you want to go to colors. I want to go this way. I like that right there. Clarity, do I need clarity to a photo like this? I'd say no. Dehazing, just a little bit of it. I'm just playing around with it. I don't have specific things in mind. I just want to play around with it until it basically gives me a look that I like. And then in detail, we're gonna do the noise reduction and then add a little bit of sharpening to it. It gives it more of like a brush feel to it. We're gonna okay it, and now we got this little pop to it that I like. And then we're gonna double click on it, and this gives us the other effects. This is where we're gonna add stuff like our lighting, our shadows, and stuff like that. So first we're gonna add a drop shadow. That right there is good enough. Then we're gonna add a stroke. See if that can add, just a little bit of hardness. I don't know if I want to go with a black stroke. Let's see if we can go white. Does white work? White could work, but I'm gonna hold off on it for now. So we're gonna do like I like to say, bevel and emboss. And then we're gonna put it on the other side. So we're gonna put this on the opposite angle, so it's right there. So then we're gonna give it the red color and up the opacity a little bit so it's easier to see. And then might want to add an inner glow. Let's see if we can do red, and then fade out the red so it's more like a whitish color. About right there should be good. And then we're gonna drop the opacity on it a little bit. so it doesn't take out the entire photo. Let's see, do I want to add the stroke? Let's see, maybe if I just want it a little less thick. Right there should be good. So next I want to play around with the actual background image to make it a little bit easier to see. So now we're going to click on it and we're going to set it to camera raw filter. So first thing I want to do is actually just up this brightness. So we're going to up the exposure so it's easier to see. Contrast a little bit more to give the depth back to the background. The highlights, we're going to up that because I know regardless of what happens, this figure needs to stay like black. We don't need to see any depth to it. We're gonna up the blacks on it a little bit right there. Color, saturation, there, add some vibrance. And then the effects is really where it's gonna kick it. Because now we're gonna skip that. Let's go straight to detail and let's go to noise reduction. So let's take a lot of the noise out. So it's a little bit easier to see, and then we're gonna up the sharpening. And then we're gonna go back to effects. Now I'm gonna add some texture back to it. Now let's add some clarity, and then maybe some grain. All right there, that's the right amount of green right there. Now you can actually see the monster a little bit better. But then we're gonna go on top of that, make a layer on top of it, get the brush, and then we're going to make the brush white. And then we're gonna make this, instead of normal, we're gonna change this to overlay. That way I can hit the light in certain areas to make stuff pop out, but subtly. So I wanna hit this, it makes his face pop out a little bit more. And then I wanna make it smaller because that's a little bit too big. And then you wanna go around his body so it glows a little bit, so he is a little bit more of the focal point of the background. So I'll go around it like this. Wrap around right there. That way he looks like more of the subject. And then I'll do the same thing to my face because I like to give myself this little side lighting. So I'll do that right there. So the light is coming from that side. So I'll do that down the arm as well. I'll do it right here. I'll do it right here as well. And then I'll do it right there. Just hit it in different places, you know what I'm saying? That way it seems like a little bit more vibrant and a little bit more glowy. So everything is starting to come together. When in doubt, I'll always add my trusty old arrow. So we're gonna go to photos, and then we're gonna grab good old bloody arrow. Just to point out the subject just a little bit more. And I like to edit it a little bit. I like to double tap on it. Get a freaking gradient overlay to give it some depth. I'll use this one right here. Then I will give it a drop shadow and a stroke. And we're going to get that black. And then make it a little bit skinnier so it's not too noticeable. And then we're gonna have this point at our monster. So we're gonna put that right there, make it smaller, and then point right to him. I think that right there brings the whole thing together. So it gives attention to the subject. And it gives attention to what I'm looking at, and my eyes are pretty much on point, so I don't really have to touch them. So I think this is good. I think this is a pretty good thumbnail for what I'm trying to convey. If you wanted to figure out the thumbnail based on the title, I think you can figure it out from this. So yeah, I think this is the best I can do with the thumbnail and the scheme I came up with. So yeah, I think this is the final product. I think this is the thumbnail I'm going to be using for this video when it drops. So yeah, everybody be on the lookout for when I drop a video with this thumbnail. Just know this is the process I went through to making it, and make sure y'all please watch it when it drops. But if y'all don't want to wait for that video, click this video right here when me and my friends try to escape the deadly backrooms. Trust me, it is an absolute banger. So yeah, with that being said, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.